Good morning and welcome to Galactic Soul Healing. My name is Sonia, and today we're going to be doing a self-reflective oracle reading for those of us who have born in the season of autumn. And this is why I have these cards here. So traditionally, the season of autumn has been associated with the element of earth. Okay, so these are just some images to kind of just remind us of that earth element here. So this fairies very connected, sitting on the earth. You have the earth guardian and this symbol here, autumn. And so the self-reflective readings are going to go like this. It's going to be a bit of a combination of you jotting down your own ideas, and I'm going to put forward some suggestions. And of course, once again, whatever does not resonate, please don't take it on. And if something does resonate, you're welcome to look into it further. So I'm just going to suggest that I'm just going to shuffle because I'm going to put down 3 cards here, and then what I'm going to get you to do is just really have a look at them and see what resonates sort of for you. We're going to be using Gods and Titans by Stacey DeMarco, first of all. So how this is going to work is I'm just going to suggest that you just grab you can pause this video to do it if you wish, an A4 sheet paper, blank preferably, and just divide it into 12 squares, so like a grid. So basically you just want 3 across the top and 4 rows of 3. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So basically it's a 4 by 3 grid over the entire A4 page. And what we're going to do is I'm going to put down 3 cards, and I want you to just, and I'm going to suggest, keywords and things that come up. And if you come up with your own keywords, you might like to jot them down and pop them into the appropriate, into the square. And at the top, if you want to put just a little initial for this deck, so you might put GNT for Gods and Titans for the top row, first row of 3. So 1, 2, 3. You might want to number them as well. So what we're going to be doing at the end then is that later on you're going to have a grid of 12 lots of keywords, and you might even like to, if you've got coloured pencils, you might even like to do some sketches, draw some symbols, or do anything there. So it's going to be a combination of art, but you might like to do that later on. But just initially, I just want you to kind of get you to focus on the images, because our subconscious actually processes things in images. So this is to do with kind of subconscious work. It's a little bit of subconscious work just to kind of get your subconscious a little bit activated, perhaps helping you to kind of just bridge. If you feel very separated or detached from your subconscious, this might just kind of provide you with a little more connection in that area, because as you know, many of our special talents, gifts and abilities, and also our remembrances of our past lives, earthly and galactic, and also our higher self connection is sort of all held within our subconscious as well. That's my belief. Obviously everyone has different beliefs around that. If any of that kind of resonates for you, this may certainly apply. But this is kind of we're just asking Spirit now to help us with this reading, is particularly for those of you born in the season of autumn, whether that's Northern Hemisphere or Southern Hemisphere, okay? So I'm just going to cut this deck, and we're going to I'm just going to pop 3 cards, and then we are going to, this is, I'll show them up close first of all. So this is Maui Discovery. I believe that may be a New Zealand god or deity figure. That was quite powerful, doesn't it? That's awesome. I really love that image. I love the water. So, the idea of this is for you to just really relax. I could have actually run you through a quick relaxation, but just take a few deep breaths, close your eyes, and you're really just going to be absorbing the images, okay? And then just getting in a zone and just jotting down anything that comes up for you. Like you might like to put down this word here, discovery. But other things might come up for you, like, exploration, new ideas. He also looks quite earth connected, doesn't he? So, I mean, he looks like a warrior. So anything that, comes to mind, even you might like to just brainstorm in those. So the first box, number 1, probably would be that one. Until you have Vishnu, balance. Vishnu's been coming up quite a bit lately. But these are really positive, beautiful cards at the moment. And this is a Hindu figure. Yeah, and the other thing too is that Hindu civilization is very ancient, and I believe influenced by high frequency beings from intergalactic areas. But you can sort of research that if you like. But, that word balance, I think that's, going to be relevant for just about everyone. But just keep in mind, if you were born in the season of autumn, this could be particularly relevant for you at the moment. Here we have Ganesha, obstacles. And that's not just about experiencing obstacles, it's about removing obstacles or finding new ways of navigating obstacles. And in your little boxes, you might want to put, you could put Vishnu. The next, the third box, you could put Ganesha. If you want to write the actual names of the deities here, if something particularly resonates. Ganesha is also a Hindu deity figure as well. You might like to look into those because those energies or the frequencies of those energies of these beings and deities is something that you can also tap into in your meditations if you need assistance with perhaps you having a lot of obstacles come up in your life at the moment. Yeah. Right, so that is those 3 there. And next we're going to grab, I have The Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray. This is a great deck. Sorry, I'll just shuffle this and then I will cut in front of you so I'm not, you can actually look at these images. Apologise for that reflection there. Let me just see if I can. No, it looks like we are not going to be able to remove that at all. Unless we just pop a couple of cards underneath that, because then you can sort of just really get a bit better of an idea of the imagery there. So this is going to be another 3 cards. So just kind of really, you might like to grab some coloured pencils and just kind of, there might be certain colours that speak to you about balance, or certain colours that feel more balancing. Maybe just you can pause the video at any time and just grab whatever you need, like pencils, textures, what have you. And even discovery, like that might be, discovering something new about yourself. It might be discovering new activities, new interests. Balance might be around, balancing aspects of your lifestyle. Obstacles could be, perhaps you're wanting to take more time off for yourself, but you're having things are coming up to kind of that are preventing that from happening. And this is obviously going to be a bit of a segue into journaling as well. So after you've written all these keywords for these 12 cards, okay, you're going to be, perhaps it's going to stimulate you to then just free write 1 or 2 pages on some ideas or things that you want to be shifting. But particularly for, our earth-born people. And, typically, there's lots of, for each element, there are, positive and negative qualities to one of us. Anyway, we'll go into that later. So we'll start on the next stack now. So hopefully you've got some keywords for these 3. Wow, we have protection, guardian. Drop your shields. Isn't that interesting? And shields can certainly be an obstacle. So this can be your inner shields. It might be if you're denying yourself things, or you're feeling resistance within yourself to something that you know you need to do. This is about dropping that resistance as well, or taking little steps to dropping the resistance or the shield, so to speak. Mountains, stand your ground. Wow. Okay. These are really powerful cards at the moment. Thank you, Spirit, for this. And Wise One, grow within your current situation. Okay, that's some really beautiful advice. We have a beautiful crow here and an owl. You know, birds, very high consciousness. Stand your ground. So this is, about higher consciousness, activating your wisdom, going within to identify your inner shields, so to speak. And, this could be really helpful. Some keywords that here might stand your ground. It might be in the way of, stability, foundation. It may even be, taking self-responsibility for your own interests and your own alignment, perhaps your own spiritual connection, like really making a plan or standing, firm in what you need to do to activate that. This is really beautiful as well. I'm just going to move this up a little so you can kind of get a little bit more there. So just sort of jotting down in your squares some ideas that come to mind. The other beautiful thing here is we have, so these are feminine images, okay? This is a younger feminine and an older feminine image. And obviously that could quite easily be, a younger male and an older male as well. So, there's wisdom to be gained and lessons to be learned in all phases of life as well. And, you may, if you're a younger person, you may be a little more resonant with this. If you're an older person, you may be a little more resonant with that. But, both these, apply, whether you're young or old. So, yeah, and using your colours, jotting down any thoughts that come to mind as well. Okay, so let's go with the next deck. Just going to pop that back down there. And next we're going to be doing the Water Temple Oracle by Susie Cherub. Okay, so this is some beautiful gods and goddess images in here as well. Sorry, once again, I'm just going to shuffle away because I'm in front of the camera. It's a little awkward, and then I'll cut again in front. So just looking at your images there, this would be the next row underneath, most likely. So we may have 4, 5, and 6. And that was the angels and ancestors. So you might like to put A and A at the top just to stand for angels and ancestors. And I'm just going to flick these. Riffle, flick, shuffle, whatever you call that. Yeah, and so, with us earth-born people, we're born in autumn, so the weather is, getting cooler. We're recovering from summer. Okay, it's getting cooler. And as we move into preparing for, a little bit of a hibernation phase. And, some of the positive qualities of Earth are those things like, stability, security, comfort, looking after the physical body as well. I'll just cut these. Looking after the physical body, nurturing, and also taking care of the practical side of life. It's very much grounded in the material or in matter rather than spirit, so to speak. But here we have Temple of Anuket. Thrive. I see golden opportunities. That's beautiful. And we have actually used some nice water here. So this is sort of suggesting flow, sort of suggesting like getting into flow. If you want to pop Anuket down as a Egyptian goddess figure, obviously. Next one we have Lord's Grotto, Sanctuary. I create an inner haven of peace. Isn't that awesome? This is also kind of links into balance underneath there as well. It's you know, creating a bit of balance by having a little sanctuary that you can, somewhere that you can go. It might not even need to be in your house. It might be in a spot in nature. It might be, well, it could be in your house. Having, you know, adopting a particular state of consciousness. So it might be that you put a certain type of music on and, you know, it sort of really helps you to get into sanctuary mode. And we have Varanasi. She came up last time. Endings. I embrace the infinite flow of life. So it is about flow. Can you see that she's in water, but she has this beautiful red, earthy kind of tone. So this is a beautiful alchemical kind of blending of earth and water, or even fire on water. And there's actually flower petals here too. She's just gorgeous. An Indian goddess, teacher, guru figure there. And that's really beautiful, very warming as well. Also speaking of the base and sacral chakras. Okay, so these are the images for the third row. 6, so this would be 7, 8, 9. And this is the Water Temple Oracle. So you might like to put WT, Water Temple. And, you know, this is Aniket Lords. This is in England, I believe, that the grotto. And we have Varanasi, so we have an Indian. So we have a nice cross-section here culturally. The other thing too is that, and we'll also look through how these interact, we have a little bit of interaction here with the Hindu and the Indian woman. So this is almost a little bit of guidance in the background here spiritually for us earth people, is to perhaps look into the yogic or Ayurvedic systems of healing, because we had another Hindu under here, Vishnu, because, you know, things like yoga, working with breath, really connecting to the earth, yoga can be quite transformational, and I think more and more people are sort of doing things like that these days, which is great. Yeah, and so that could be a little hint about also past lives. If you've, in terms of ancient earth past lives, you may have even had past lives in Egypt, or perhaps even in the Celtic, Norse, you know, Viking, you know, the English, the Old English, Wales, you know, European collectives, and yeah, and the Indian as well. So any one or all or a few of those may resonate with you in terms of just past lives. So if you, on your little grid, if you kind of feel like, yeah, that Indian thing actually does resonate with me, just pop in, just make a little note of past life ? And then you can kind of look into that, because that's the other thing too, is that image can activate memories, okay, past life memories. And usually past life memories can also help you to understand your higher self, okay, because it can help you to kind of map out your overall path that you have been on, and your reason for it can sort of also help point to your reason for being here, your mission or your purpose. So, you know, there's a micro reason why we do this for exploration of subconscious, but the bigger picture is it's kind of going to be helping you to, you know, kind of work out your perhaps your soul purpose and your mission as well. And many of you may already have an idea of what that is. And, you know, obviously, you know, a purpose or mission can have many aspects to it. It can be simple, but it can be multifaceted at the same time. So let's just cut. This is the Starseed Oracle. This is going to be the last row on your grid. Yeah, sorry, my hands have been in front there, but yeah, if you can, you want to just grab another look at that. But like I said, you know, you can just pause the video if you need to at any point. Right, so I have cut these. Let's just cut them again because it looks a little bit, right, we've cut. And the first one is, oh wow, that's gorgeous. the courageous peony. Oh, did I just say multifaceted? Multifaceted, unique nature. Let yourself be seen. Okay, so there's more to you than just your physical, obviously. There's more to you than just your appearance. Okay, you have a soul, you have past lives, earthly, galactic, you have higher self, you are, what shall I say, simultaneously existing in other dimensions, if I can say that. But once again, that is a personal belief of mine, and I think there are other people that share that belief. It may not be yours, and that's fine. But, you know, like I said, just take what resonates and leave the rest. But that's a beautiful image there. And the word here, keyword, is courageous. You know, it's about being your unique self. So that's fantastic. Let's take the next one here. Activated Earth. Oh, wow. Okay. This is a reading for Earth people. Autumn. And it says power places, ley lines, trust where you are led. Wow, that is gorgeous. So this is about connecting with nature, getting really grounded, and finding a sanctuary. See, this here, I'm just pointing with the corner of this card. And this will help create balance as well if you can get out in nature, which is the card literally under here, Vishnu. So that's really gorgeous. I really love these cards at the moment. Actually really resonating for me. I don't know about you guys and gals, but yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. Defenselessness, righting past wrongs, and uprooting. So this may be about your connection to your higher self, okay? It may be about looking inward. And we had a card under here previously, which was about discovery, wasn't it? So that, you know, that could... that could actually link into this one. It's about maybe you're discovering other aspects of yourself, or perhaps you're discovering that, you have been harsh on yourself. So it's really almost like the ego apologizing to the higher self. That's sort of how I read this sometimes. I mean, you may like to interpret this as relationships with others, but I think sometimes we introject or take on a lot of unresolved difficulties of others sometimes, especially when we're young. And uprooting, that can just be about realization or awakening into a new truth that you'd like to step into. But it can also be about forgiveness as well. So forgiving yourself for perhaps how you've treated yourself, or how you have treated others, or how others have treated you. And sometimes it's about creating boundaries, about standing your ground as well. Because sometimes we do have to make a little stand for ourselves in order to be able to move forward and to thrive, which is this one here, thriving and seeing opportunities. So I'm just going to put this down here, and if you lift that up, if you need to pause the video on that just to write down some keywords. So we have courage here, we have activated earth. So this is the nature places where you might be led, trust where you're led, the word trust here as well. And this is about, probably ego and higher self connection. So it's also about that conscious mind and the subconscious mind, okay? Because sometimes our subconscious can tend to operate there's positive stuff in the subconscious, but there's also some negative stuff, and sometimes it's about we've taken on perhaps dysfunctional or negative ways of thinking and feeling about ourselves that probably are coming up in our face now, and we are needing to address that. And just know that that's okay. Just hold space for yourself, and this going to nature will help that process. Finding yourself a sanctuary, okay, making a stand for your transformation, okay. And we literally have here sub and top, subconscious and above, like conscious, and subconscious, okay? And creating balance in your life is going to help this process here as well. So, and you know, people born in autumn, it's not just going to apply to those of us born in autumn. Obviously, we're all going through this, but if this particularly resonates for you at this time, you know, all well and good. So what we might do now is I have some crystal cards here. So in terms of crystal healing, you can see my crystals up here. I'm not an expert by any means, but I'm actually going to close my eyes to do this because we're just going to pull out a couple of cards. Spirit just requesting for some healing crystals that would be great for people who are born in autumn. So those of us who are very strongly connected to the earth energies at this time. You know, and we are sensing that Gaia is going up in frequency and that we are as well. And many of us may naturally connect to the earth, but there might be little things that we can do, or some crystals that we could perhaps utilize as well. So I'm just going to stop there. My eyes are literally closed, and I'm just going to cut the deck and pull whatever. We're just going to pull a couple. So this first one here is selenite. Oh, wow. Selenite is gorgeous. On the back here we have purifying, tranquility, divine light energy, and clears energy blockages. Oh my God, that is so awesome. Do you remember Ganesha we had back here? The obstacles? You know, let's just pull him out and pop him up here because, you know, like this selenite is great for clearing. And some people get selenite wands, but if you can get yourself some selenite, you know, it clears energy blockages. That's going to be great for your energy body and your light body and everything. So that's what it looks like there. It's kind of a semi-transparent kind of stone. That's a particular way it's being cut. It may be in a block or a, you know, a squarish type shape. It could be in any shape if you buy it from the shop somewhere. But that is gorgeous. So let's just keep that in mind. You might like to get some of that. The next one we have here is, oh my God, how do we say that? Dumortierite. Dumortierite. Okay, divine guidance, mental focus, perseverance, and intuition. This is going to be spot on too because this will help your meditation and your going in to do your subconscious work and really, you know, developing intuition. This is fantastic, okay? And this is the beautiful colour, Dumortierite. Yeah, you can see that. That's good. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to pull one more because I'm really loving what's being on offer here right now. Danburite, spirit communication, calming, sleep aid, and expansion of consciousness. Okay, so that's going to be really useful as well. Calming, okay, spirit communication. It's going to help with the higher self activation as well, and do all this with balance and with discernment and moderation. Okay, Danburite. I haven't actually seen this before, but that could be great as well. So if any of these stones resonate with you, you can probably Google them as well, and just there's probably other benefits that can be gained from using these stones. So yeah. So that was a reading for the earth, people born in autumn. And yes, I will see you next time and have a great day. And I hope that was useful. Like I said, if you want to now go back over, jot down some more ideas that come up, and then just do some free writing on your grid. You might even want to pop the date up the top as well, so you've got a bit of a reference. And then you might want to create a file or a book that you can just slip those pieces into, or you might even want to grab a scrapbook and do this as an ongoing process as well, because I'm going to be doing these hopefully weekly. But we've done Earth today. And I'm also going to be doing a water element as well, which is for those born in winter. Okay, so have a great day, and I'll catch you next time. Ciao.